Welcome to Live from the Blind. This is Season 1, Episode 3. I'm your host, Brian Bolt, along with Garrett Camp, and we've got some guests with us tonight from Stratton Seed Company. We've got the Mid-South Sales Manager, Jason Peroni, and we've also got the Territory Manager, Keith Hammer, with us. Guys, we appreciate you taking the time to come all the way to Texarkana to talk some feed and seed with us.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity.
Well, of course, if you're tuning in, you've heard about these guys. We've talked about some of their products so far on the show through our other episodes, and it is deer season, and I know you guys are in full swing, which y'all do all kinds of stuff, so you're in full swing all year.
Yeah, it's really never stopped anymore since we got in the wildlife business 3 years ago. It's just a year-round process. You know, we go from the spring to the summer to the late fall planting. We've really got into a lot of the protein feed with the Rack-A-Track, and we'll go over that more in the details later. But it's we kind of dipped our toe in it 3 years ago, and now it's just it's been great. It's been all of our customers are real supportive, and it's just a need out in the market for a company that can take care of you and supply you what you need.
And so, you know, later on we're going to have Lane Peoples with us from Baits and Blades. He's a local guy here, but you guys are not from Texarkana. I mean, we met each other through a friend. I actually met Keith through a friend, and he was doing some planning or whatnot over around Star City. And I mean, it's just crazy how it all got connected. But you guys are based right now out of Stuttgart. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, our home office, headquarters, whatever you can call it, it's out of Stuttgart. We've got a few different locations throughout the state and one in the Boot Hill, Missouri. But our main base is there in Stuttgart.
Awesome.
Yeah, we were kind of looking at y'all's territory map, and y'all cover a big area. I think there's 2 or 3 places here local that have things that they can get from y'all, but y'all cover a large territory.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how many states it is, but basically all the Mid-South is our kind of footprint. And then as far as dealers go, yeah, we've got several right here around Texarkana. But get on the website and it'll show you all of our dealer map of where all we service.
As we grow, we're trying to do a better job of keeping that dealer located updated. So you can just do like any dealer locator, of course, type in your zip and it'll punch you up to the
it's pretty
closest.
easy to find.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. The website's coming along. We've recently changed our logo to Hunt Stratton Seed, as you can see on there. So we're kind of trying to grow that brand and see where it takes us.
Cool.
Yeah. So, well, let's kind of go back to the origin of the company. We were talking off camera when you first got here, and we asked you, kind of how the company got started and whatnot. So why don't you tell everybody that doesn't know much about Stratton, tell them kind of how it got started, where it got started, and let's just go from there.
Sure. Stratton Seed was originated in 1948, mainly a soybean, rice, wheat company for all those years. A lot of production. It's one of the largest soybean production facilities in the Mid-South. So that's where it kind of started. Keith and I both started in January of 2018, and we both have the passion to hunt. I'll let you share real quick about Land and Legacy, how we kind of footprinted that.
Yeah, so we have a partnership with a company called Land and Legacy. They are 2 great guys out of southern Missouri, and they do land consultant. So basically they come out on your property, give you a game plan for a habitat management plan for your property, whatever your goals may be. Really good guys, and they stay busy all year long doing that. So, but there's some really good guys that if you do need some ideas on what you got to do on your property to have better hunts or just overall better habitat, those are the guys to call for sure.
Right. And the first time you and I met, we talked, and you came down to my office and you brought me some stuff to look at.
Yeah.
and then you brought me one of these. I know we've all got one and you can't see it on camera, but it's what do you call these things?
Just
Wildlife brochure.
A brochure. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's got, when you hear brochure, everybody at home kind of like,
Yeah.
it's kind of a standoffish thing, old school type
Catalog.
But catalog. But I looked through it, and it's pretty good.
And
it's
really,
got your products in there. It's got when you plant stuff, and
We've-
it's very informational.
We've come a long way from when we first started, back to Land and Legacy. They helped us with the seed side of it. So the first year, Keith and I did the Big Buck Classic, and when we were there, a lot of our customers were coming up to us and saying, hey, do y'all do feed, blah, 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 do y'all sell protein? So we started diving off into that. the first year I sold it in Arkansas, and then it's just evolved from there. But but this book, this catalog is from you guys, from our customers. They told us what they wanted, how to make it better. We got a great marketing team that helps us do all this stuff, and we really made it user friendly. All this stuff is available on the website too as well. But we kind of tried to dumb it down. And I'm a hunter first, sales second. Out in the field. So I wanted something that I could go to a guy from wherever that doesn't know anything about hunting, and he can pull up this book and he can see where to plant it, when to plant it, how much to plant. And we kind of stayed away from some of the detail orientated things like fertilizer recommendations and chemicals and stuff.
Right.
But as far as where to plant it, when to plant it, and what to plant it for, we nailed it with this book. So
Yeah,
we've
I
dumbed
agree.
it down where it's not too big, and it's really user friendly.
And people can always get with their co-op or whoever to figure out what they need to do to prep the soil before they get this, right?
Sure.
Well, and that's why I like it. Garrett and I, we
We need
do
everything
we
dumbed
do a
down
lot
as
of
much
hunting
as
together.
possible.
But there's a couple of things we don't do, okay? And we don't know much about this planting stuff.
That's right.
We're not mechanics. So, there's things we need help with. If we could find a book like this that talked about boat motors, we would be pretty
wouldn't be
well
broke
off.
down
But,
as much.
Yeah, we
I
would.
hear you there.
But yeah, I mean, seriously, you said you dumbed it down, but for normal guys, which I
Yeah.
kind of feel like we are, I mean, it tells you everything.
Sure, we all are. I mean, on the very front page, I know you can't see it there, but it's got all the planting dates, the planting rates, what to plant it for, all the times, etc. So it's just a very user-friendly thing right on the beginning. I think, Keith, if you open that page up, and then if you just scroll down through the book, I'm not going to go through the exact recommendations on everything, but it's like I said, it's pretty simple, pretty easy.
Yeah,
to
and
use.
we'll throw out the website, or we'll get the website to you guys that are watching. But it's strattonseed.com. You can click on the Hunt Stratton Seed tab, and you pull up this brochure online, so
And
you can check it out there.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
You can find this brochure online.
It'll be the logo that's on this page, the Hunt Stratton Seed logo. You can click on it, and it'll take you to this exact brochure
Okay.
catalog.
Awesome.
All right. Well, if you're just now tuning in, we're live tonight on episode 3. We've got Stratton Seed Company with us. We're going to talk, I guess, kind of like we posted on Facebook. We're going to talk deer and ducks. We're going to talk seed and feed. And so that's what we're doing. We're jumping into it. Right now, we're talking about their catalog for this year, their new catalog they just got out. And you'll see on the screen as one of our sponsors, their brand new logo, Hunt Stratton Seed. So if you go to strattonseed.com, look for that logo, click on it, and it's going to take you to this brand new 2022-2023 wildlife catalog here. And so, but I tell you what, guys, not only, I know, can they print off one of these at home?
You could
Sure,
so
you
inside so inside the brochure, as you can see it kind of dangling here. There is a target. I know a lot of people are going out sighting their guns, etc. this time of the year, but all you got to do is remove 2 staples and you'll have a full size target inside the brochure. So that's new for 2022, 2023. So everybody's loved that. We can give Brian and them some of these to pass out to you guys if you're in this area. So anyway, it's just a cool little trinket that we left inside for all the hunters.
Well, speaking of around this area, after I got hooked up with Keith, I talked to one of my friends, and he was like, "Hey, man, I saw on y'all's Facebook y'all are doing something with some seed company. What's that about?" So I went over to the bank and took him one of these books, and they bought some stuff and planted and loved
He's
it. But-
actually sent me some pictures, and he's having some good luck with it.
But I mean, it's just I can't talk enough about this because it's so informational instead of you just hearing
Right.
from somebody
Right.
or going online and reading. I mean, you've got something that
It breaks
for
it down
normal
so
guys, you
anybody
got
can
pictures in it.
understand.
It's a picture book.
Yeah.
We
It's
tried to
very
answer
easy to read.
Yeah, as many common questions as we could in one book, and I think it's nailed pretty good. So
Yeah, I think you did, and of course it doesn't seem like a big deal, but you can get one of these and go sight in your rifle.
That's
Garrett, he'd have holes all over this thing.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. A target might not be big enough for me.
you could even pattern your shotgun that way. You
That's
have
right.
duck shoot
That's
this
right.
weekend.
That's right. Well, look, we're going to take a short break. Before we do, we want to make sure that we give a big shout out to all of our sponsors here on The Blind. We usually do that at the first of the show, but we've got some really good sponsors, and not only just good sponsors, but all of them have great products. Not only Stratton Seed, but all the things that we've gotten from you guys, and for planting, and I know we got some stuff late this year, but we got it for next year for duck hunting and deer hunting and all that kind of stuff. So go over to strattonseed.com and look at all their stuff. But Shin Gear, you know, Garrett and I, we've made a couple trips up there, really been involved with those guys. They've got awesome products. But let's just run through this list before we go to a commercial break. We appreciate, of course, Shin Gear, Alpha Innovations, Apex Ammunition, Bradshaw Sporting Dog Veterinarian, Stratton Seed, Baits and Blades, Muddy Wing Retrievers, Perfect Limit Outdoors, High and Dry, Extreme Dog Fuel, and of course, our official coffee company of the blind, Dirty Duck Coffee Company. So we appreciate all of them. And a big shout out to Rixie Outdoors, an Arkansas company as well that makes some great dog stands. If y'all didn't see those on episode 2,
I have not.
they
really
were here.
cool.
Awesome. I mean, they pack up to this small where you can carry
Really?
it. Arkansas made, all of it.
Yep.
I mean, it's an awesome product. I just took one out of my truck last night, or I'd show y'all.
Yeah.
Awesome product. So we appreciate Rixie for being in here last time too.
Awesome.
And so, but speaking of Jonathan Bradshaw, he's our sporting dog veterinarian. Each and every week he does a sporting dog tip of the week. And so as we go to commercial break, we're going to hear his tip, and we'll come back and we're going to talk some seed and feed with Keith and Jason. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, so this week's tip revolves around first aid kit and what you should carry with you when you go out duck hunting with your dog. So a big one's bandage material, you know, so any cuts and scrapes you're going to need some sort of bandage material to use. You know, we got to make sure we put cotton underneath it so as not to just use vet wrap on the outside, because that tends to constrict quite a bit. The other thing is like a tourniquet. So you're going to want something, if you've got a bad cut on a foot that's just continuing to bleed, you want to place a tourniquet on the leg. The other thing is, you know, some sort of clotting powder. That's always good to have. You know, let's think, you know, staplers sometimes people want to carry with them. You know, antibiotics. So there's a few antibiotics that I'd carry with me just in case you're out traveling in a different state with a dog. You know, I'd have some antibiotics on hand just in case you run into some scenarios. The other thing would be anti-inflammatory. So if your dog got hurt, made a wrong move, got a, you know, hurt foot, hurt leg, you know, we can start them on some anti-inflammatories, some dog-safe anti-inflammatories pretty quickly. The other thing to worry about and to have on hand is some sort of Benadryl. So a lot of times if they get bit by a snake or an insect of some sort, we can give them some Benadryl as well.
Welcome back to The Blind. We appreciate Dr. Jonathan Bradshaw for our dog training, or our dog tip of the week. And we're back with Keith and Jason, and we're talking about Stratton Seed. You know, y'all got a great lineup of seeds and products here. We're going to kind of go through those one by one and tell you a little more in depth about what these guys do.
Sure.
Yeah, so we've talked a little bit about this catalog off the bat, but what's actually in it is all of our seed and feed items that we've got. So we've got all the food plots you need for warm season and cooler season weather. We've got, it'll cover whitetail, waterfowl, and upland birds is kind of what we all hit there. And like I said, we'll just get started.
That's kind of the big picture view of what
Right.
all you do.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
individually, let's talk about some deer.
Yeah, so we've got a really good forage soybean that's glyphosate tolerant, so you can spray glyphosate on it, kind of help keep a clean field. We got a couple different maturity ranges on those, and then we put that in a couple different blends that we've got, but Bonafide is one of them. It's a dwarf corn with the Game Changer soybeans in there as well. So you've got corn and soybeans. Like I said, you can spray glyphosate over those and still keep a clean field all year long.
This is excellent for duck or deer.
Yeah.
So a lot of my duck hunters in Stuttgart and the surrounding areas, they planted that this year to try to diversify from the millets, etc. But deer, I mean, it's a win-win. You've got dwarf corn
Right.
and soybeans, but for ducks, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and with those soybeans, they're eating the forage, the leaves all summer long, and then they're going to produce pods if you don't have too much deer eating them anyway.
Right.
But they'll produce pods, and then that'll be good for a late season hunt.
And as
when
far
the
as how
temps get
these
cold.
things are sold, y'all sell them by the bag, like
By the bag.
Yep. So the soybeans come in 50-pound bags, and then each individual blend is broke down. It's not all 50 pounds.
Right.
But basically what it does is it's about a bag an acre, or in certain blends, they're a bag for a half acre. So
On the Game Changers, we do offer those in 2,000-pound jumbos, which is basically
Okay.
do 40 acres. I sell a lot of them in actually your area over here.
Yeah.
So we've actually redesigned those bags this year. They used to be in a white poly bag where you couldn't see through them. We've actually got, well, I'll get Keith to send you some pictures. It's clear. You
Yeah.
can see through it, and you can see the soybeans inside of it. So it's
actually
pretty.
see what
yeah.
you're getting. Yeah.
So when you're hauling them around, it's like a moving billboard. You can see everything
Yeah.
you got going through
He
them.
brought me some small bags of some
Yes.
stuff, and you can see through them, and it's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
cool
it's
where you
quite
can see what it
remarkable,
is.
Yep, I'll
But
show you.
you know,
one
not to
right
beat a dead horse, but everybody watching us talking about this feed and seed, you can go online and get one of these
Yes.
catalogs that we talked about, and each one of them that's in there, I know you can't see it, but it tells you the dates that you can plant it, and it tells you what to plant it for. So if you're interested in planting for deer or ducks or turkey or doves, or you can go to that catalog, and it's going to tell you when to plant it, and it's going to tell you what all they provide or sell that for whatever you're trying to plant for. So you did do a good job dumbing it down for some of us guys.
That's right.
That we're like, man, I want to plant something for dove season. Don't really know what to plant. You can
Yep.
go and find it by the species of what you're trying to plant.
Yep.
So,
Well, we just listen to our customers. That's everything really almost everything in here was dictated by our customers.
Yeah.
So I think we have an awesome customer base, and we listen to them. So if it makes sense for us to bring in and we can make our margin on it and give the customer a good quality product, we do it. So that's the benefit of working for Stratton Seed. It's a big family-owned company. You don't have a lot of hoops and corporate stuff to jump through. Our owners are in the office with us daily, and it's nice. You can,
Call and talk
it's a
to you
family
directly.
atmosphere. You can talk to them, bump ideas off of them, and it's just a great atmosphere.
Cool. One of the things I saw looking through the book that kind of caught my eye was this Invisalign natural cover. Because I'm always like, I got a blind, I'm thinking about brushing it up or what I need to get and that kind of thing. I just thought that was really cool that y'all developed something just to brush in a blind.
Sure.
Yeah, so every year you got to go cut limbs down or any kind of brush or something. So this just kind of takes that work out of it. It comes in little 2-pound packages, and basically that's enough to do
A
a
blind.
blind. Right.
About an 8-man pit, something
Right.
like that. So this year it was retailing about $9.95. So it's really
Yeah,
cheap.
pretty cheap to
actually.
brush a blind.
Cheaper than sweating and cutting all the bushes
And you
down
just
and doing all
plant
that
it
stuff.
and let it grow.
Yeah, and you
Plant
get,
it
I
in
mean, you ain't got to
June.
do a whole lot to it. Just
Yeah.
prep the ground a little bit. You could take a yard rake out there just to scratch it a little bit and throw it out there before rain. And,
Yep.
and you've got cover already there, and you ain't got to move a whole lot of
Yeah,
brush.
I thought that was pretty cool.
that may be your best seller out of
Yeah.
this whole book, because that's a lot of times that's hard work, and you're out there doing it with the snakes, and you got to do it before season.
That's all he's worried about.
And
is
you're
the
out.
snakes.
Yeah, I had to throw
He
that
don't
in
like
there. The snakes. If I can get away from being out there with them, I'm doing all the good.
hear
But all the people that are watching at home that are duck hunters and stuff, I mean, they don't just have stuff to feed. I mean, you've come up with stuff like this to help your blinds.
Yeah, and on that Invisalign, it's not even necessarily just for duck hunters too, or blinds, duck blinds. We've got a lot of guys that use them for their deer blinds.
Yeah.
And it basically just creates a screen. That way you can access your hunting spot, your stand, without spooking any deer.
When you're walking in, you won't get
Yeah.
busted.
Right.
et
Right,
cetera. And
yeah.
some people,
Yeah.
some of my customers, they'll order it in 50-pound bags, and they will put it down the side of gravel roads. So you have people coming scoping your ducks/deer,
Yeah.
Keep the
so
peeping
that they can't
toms out.
keep everybody honest.
Yeah, well, that's something that I feel like it's kind of been a theme. Like when we talked to Shin, talking to you guys, is you're developing things that you're doing it. You're hunting, you're deer hunting, you're duck hunting, you're doing all those things. So you know what we want, right?
Right.
So another thing on the Invisalign in particular is the two species that are in it. This year, we got hit by a terrible drought in the Mid-South. Both of these species are very drought tolerant, so they tended to hold up very nicely this year. So it was really helpful to have those. But I mean, we've had guys run contests with like people selling different deer blinds or duck blinds. They'll just
Yeah.
like give a bag away when they sell a blind or whatever it is. So it was pretty cool little
Yeah.
concept. I run a promotion with all the salesmen doing that, and they really hustled, and they got some creative juices flowing, and they did some nice ideas. So we moved a lot of product. So
That's awesome.
It's an easy ship product too. It's 2 pounds,
Yeah.
so it's an easy
Right.
mail product.
Yep.
So
Well, Keith, what we got next, man?
So we got a couple spring mixes, spring summer mixes, warm season mixes. That one of them is Heritage. You're going to have soybeans, cowpeas. It's got Lab in it.
What is Lab?
So it is. It's kind of like a soybean, but
Okay.
it's real viney.
Big leaves.
Yeah, big leaves. But it actually has a vining characteristic to it. So, like for example, the Milo that's in it, it'll actually get on the stalk of
Okay.
that and crawl up it, and it just puts off tons of forage.
Cool.
For the deer. And you can actually, we were talking about screens earlier, you can actually let this just stay instead of terminating it and planting a fall food plot later in the year, and you can have it as a screen as well. So, but this one, Heritage, is actually one that it's got sun hemp in it as well. And it's labeled as a noxious weed in Arkansas as of now. So you can't plant it in Arkansas, but any other state, I think, is it Mississippi too?
Just Arkansas.
Just
from what I
Arkansas.
know.
So yeah, so any other state, you're good to go there. But
Well, we're in Texas right now.
that's right. Yeah, I hear you.
Right now, we're
Right
actually
now
in
in
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Everybody watching from home, we're actually in Texas.
Yeah, and but we did come up with another blend called Ancestry, which is basically its sister to that, and it doesn't have sun hemp. It's got sorghum Sudan grass in place of it. So if you are in Arkansas, you can plant it there.
That's right.
But those are two good blends that we've had for 3 or 4 years now, and these are a couple blends that the Land and Legacy guys they were planting it long before we ever brought it to market, and that's goes back to trials and stuff that we try out, and then we try to figure it out before we give it to you guys,
Right.
and that way it's good to go by the time it reaches your hands. So
Yeah.
So another use for this product that's not in the book, it's by my customers. My customers told me about it. The Ancestry in North Arkansas, it's very mountainous and very rocky, right? He plants the Ancestry in May or June, and it'll get 6 to 8 foot tall. It's a beautiful product.
So it's pretty
And-
hardy. It grows
and it's
pretty
and
easily.
Yes, it goes very nicely. And then in September, he will mow strips in it. So if he has a 5-acre field, let's just say, he'll mow lanes or strips, and then he will come back and plant the Legacy in between those strips. So he'll plant the Legacy and the strips that he's mowed, or the Bounty Hunter, or whatever fits your budget. If you want a wheat and oat man, just plant it, whatever you want. And so what you have is you have the 6 to 8 foot tall of the Ancestry in Arkansas, and then you have the strips with all the lush green coming up in the fall. So it's a great dual purpose. You've got the spring blend and the fall blend working together for you. So you got deer bedded down in that, and then they're coming through hitting the lanes, the green lush lanes. So I
got cover and
can't
food.
tell you how many people that I've told
They
about
love
it,
it.
and they do it.
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
covering food, they feel comfortable being out there. It's not like they're in a wide open
Yeah.
Yeah.
area. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, man, let's talk some upland birds.
Yeah, so we've got a couple different mixes. Really just one we'll hit on, but Wild Wings is what we called it. It's got white proso, millet, paradoic sunflowers, and Milo. We actually planted some of this at our lodge outside of Stuttgart, and had some good dove hunts this year. But it's a really good, just seed packed, seed producing blend that's really good for doves.
Yeah, and that you mentioned doves. I mean, that's what we mostly
Right.
hunt around here. But I can see down here in each region and all across the U.S. I mean, it's planted at the same time. You want to plant it before dove season. and
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
In that May to June window there. So a lot of people that watch the show and around here, we don't pheasant or quail hunt, but
Yeah.
we dove hunt. Almost everybody. You at least go. You may not hunt, but
Well, west of here, it could be, Texas. I found out in some of the hunting shows Keith and I have done,
Yeah.
is when we talk about food plots, they just look at us like we're crazy because
Yeah.
it's always
We ain't
so
gonna get
dry.
no rain.
right.
And they're like, "Yeah, we're going to get rain," and I'm like, "No, probably not."
Which this year was rough for
Exceptionally
food
dry.
plots.
They
Yeah.
don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, I bet.
Anyway, but it would do great for quail
Yeah.
in Texas if it would ever rain.
Right, right. Well, in your magazine, it says call in the big guns. I've heard about this. I haven't planted any, but I want to know about it because I've heard it many and many a times, but the Bounty Hunter.
Bounty Hunter is probably our most popular blend that we've got for fall food plot plantings. It's one of those that comes in a 50-pound bag. It's predominantly wheat and oats, but then you've got your brassicas, some clovers, and winter peas in there as well. So it's by far our most popular blend. You want something green out there and some forage for them to eat. That's the one to go to for sure.
Yeah, and it's planted around that August, September when everyone in this area
Starts
is
thinking
getting out
about
to
it.
start getting ready for deer season and
Yep.
stuff like that. So this, you talked about it being real popular. People that are watching, I know that it's past time for you to plant, but if you're hearing these new things, this is not just a popular one, but people have a lot of success with this.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
and I mean, even with this year's drought, that hit real hard. But I had a customer talk to me last week about it. He had seed in the ground for 5 weeks without getting any rain, and he finally caught one 5 weeks later, and his plot's looking
And
great.
it still came
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
What gets me every year is like I think about planting and all that stuff, and then I never plant in spring. I'm always fishing, which we're going to talk some fishing here in a minute. But once the fall rolls around, that sounds like a good mix to throw out.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's got, like I said, it's got 6 different seeds in it. We've got another one, and the Bounty Hunter, it runs about
30,
25, 30 bucks.
Yeah.
And then Legacy is another blend that we've got, and it's actually got 12 different seeds in it. And I know that sounds like a lot and a little overkill, but they all have their purpose.
It's a buffet.
They
right
don't
there.
compete with
buffet.
each other,
Yes. No.
No, so like the Legacy, it's got more cereal grains than the Bounty Hunter's got. Some higher end clovers and brassicas in there. But like I said, it sounds like overkill, but deer are going to hit different forage at different times.
Right,
So
we were
there's
just
something
discussing
in there
that.
that they'll want all year long, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's a cool thing about stuff like this, the Bounty Hunter and the Legacy. Again, if you go and you get this catalog, you look at it online like I'm looking at it. I mean, it's got so much stuff in it. It's different than if you just go to a feed store and just buy one bag of something, and then
Right.
maybe it doesn't work. Or
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not eating it. It's got so much stuff in there that you're putting out. I know I don't know on the Legacy if it says this, but on the Bounty Hunter it says a buffet. I mean, and that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
If they're not eating one thing, they surely got to be eating one of these.
Or if one thing doesn't do as well and doesn't come up, maybe some of the others will take over.
I mean, I'm sure we've all bought stuff at some of the bigger box stores, and I have. I'm upper 40s now, and I've bought different products, and it's not come up this and that. And that's one thing I'm proud of at Stratton Seed is all of our stuff is tested every year. We have the plant board come by, of course, because we have soybeans, rice, and wheat. So we're tested more stringent than normal people because we have them in our warehouses weekly, daily, checking all of our products. So I feel like that's why the quality of our seed's better, and that's why we've had a lot of success that we've had. But to touch on the Legacy, I've been getting pictures from my customers, and when I can see sometimes I'm busy and I can just see a picture pop up and I know who it is, and the picture's green, and I'm just like, and I'll have time and I'll click on it, and I know it's Legacy because I remember what he bought. It's solid green and beautiful, and y'all, I mean, 5-6 weeks without any rain, and the brassicas are beautiful. They're sending me picture after picture of first bucks killed by kids in it, and it's just amazing. So something we have really found out this year, the brassicas, the turnips, all these things and these products have really held up in this drought that we had. So it's been amazing and something I really have learned watching it. So
Yeah.
drought resistant. I'm not saying it. I will say it's drought resistant now.
Yeah. Real life examples.
Yeah, after
I mean,
after
it's-
this year, you found out some stuff about
Yeah.
it, didn't
I'll
you?
show you guys some pictures off camera.
Yeah.
And then we've got just a couple more I'll hit on, and then Jason's going to talk about our feed side. I know he's excited about that. So
Oh, yeah.
the Revival is one that it's our only perennial plot. All these that I've been talking about are annuals, but this one is a perennial food plot that we've got. You got several different clovers, alfalfa, and chicory in it, and it covers a lot of basis as far as when you can plant it. I've planted it in the fall. You can actually frost seed it, so like in February time frame or so, you can go out there and get a frost on it, and it'll actually come up in the spring. So it's really good. I mean, obviously deer, but really good for turkeys too. So
Oh, really?
yeah, they're a very good turkey plot.
And as you can see, we listened to the customer again. We only had it available in a 1/4 acre bag the first 2 years, but there was such a high demand, people were wanting bigger plots, so we put it in a 1 acre bag.
Yeah.
So we went from a 1/4, so we offer both 1/4 and 1 acre. So And go ahead and talk about the next.
Yeah, and
picture.
the quarter acre bag is the one that I
Yeah,
got you,
yeah.
the clear bag. So
Yeah, I mean, you know, you think about buying this stuff, and a little bit goes a long way.
Yes.
yeah, it
Yes.
does.
Yeah, and for guys
When you
like me
think-
that forget to plant,
Yeah.
oh, it'll come up for 2 or 3 years now.
That's right. Exactly.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, and then the last one I guess not the last one. The next one I hit on though is our Big Buck Brasicas. It's actually new for this year. We had kind of a soft release with it, but still, I think probably about 500 bags or
Yeah.
so this year for getting it out kind of later. But it's been really good. I've actually got some on my place back home, and it's done very well. It's another one of those. I know we've talked about the drought, but it's one of those that it just received just a few inches of rain since planting,
Yep.
and it's done very well. I mean, it's got a lot of tonnage out there, and deer are hitting it a lot. But it's got purple top turnip, sugar beets, hybrid Winford brassicas, and Pacer brassicas, and it's been a really good blend so far this year.
I'm on a group thread with all the salesmen, 7 of us, and I sent him a picture last night. I don't know if he remembers, but our boss sent us a picture. He's cooked turnip greens. He said
That have
triple
grown
B.
from this?
Yeah.
Triple B.
Yeah,
He cooked them.
So it'll feed the deer and it'll feed you.
and
Hey,
you. That's
it's,
right.
it's a dual purpose.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
trying to take care of.
Hey,
everybody.
times are getting hard now. We're gonna have to. If you can talk your wife into letting you buy this stuff to plant it, you better be able to bring something home
That's
to
right.
eat.
Fight the deer for you.
If you
for your
can't
turnip
bring a
greens.
deer home, bring your turnips.
Bring
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then last seed stuff we'll talk about is our duck blends.
Yeah, we can't
I know-
skip that.
Yeah, I know y'all are excited about that one. So we've got 2 different ones we offer. Quick 6 and Final Flight is both of those. I'd say probably which the Quick 6 you plant earlier in the year because it's got some later maturing seeds in it. But then the Final Flight allows you could really plant it up until about the 1st of September because it's
sold
got
it all
about
the
a
way through
60-day
about the 10th.
maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
60 days.
Yeah.
For
Right.
first frost.
Right.
so like I said, you can get it in 1st September, and a lot of guys utilize that because different reasons, but they can't get the water off the field in time to plant Quick 6, or they can't get in whatever the case may be. It's a little bit more diversity as far as allowing you have time to plant it. So
Do these require any water, 10 inches of water, or do you need water on it, or you can't have water on it?
so
or
you can't have water on it
initially.
Now with like the Quick 6.
You can't consistently carry a flood on it or
Right.
carry water on it.
But if you
Okay.
can flush it, like guys are able to flush
Just
it,
moist soil would do
Sure.
well.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many aquatics in it, water species.
it's not something
Right.
like straight rice, which
Right.
we got guys that do that too. But it's not like straight rice where you could bring it to flood after it gets up a certain amount, and it'll continue to grow. You'll kill off some of these stuff if you put water on it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Because like dwarf corn's in it, and it's not doesn't like really have wet feet, really nice. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
you can put the water on it after it's all matured out and stuff like that. But the Final Flight, once you get it up and established, get the buckwheat up and growing, you can put a flood on it, and it does really good. But I was going to touch on your Invisalign, what you were saying, but what we found out a lot nowadays is, Arkansas is not getting the duck numbers down like we used to. So
Right.
we have a lot of speck hunting. So we all make panel blinds and things like that. But for these guys, my guys that are buying and all these new properties and stuff, I'm like, hunt it your first year, kind of see where your ducks are flying in, your geese are flying in. Don't go and build a $1,000 or $2,000 blind. Go spend $10 and in strategic locations, drop some Invisalign here,
Yeah.
there, and everywhere. It's natural cover. It's not costing you but $10, and it just works. You know what I mean? So then, if you see where the ducks are coming in for the north, the south, the east, or the west, you can kind of be mobile instead of stuck in a stationary blind, for instance.
Right. Right.
So
Well, man, we appreciate talking about all of these seeds. I mean, there's stuff for again around this area: ducks, deer, quail. I know in the book there's it talks about turkey and stuff like that. But man, you go to strattonseed.com. You can see all of this that we just talked about. If you know me or you want to message us on the Facebook page of the blind, we may even give you Keith's number so you can hound
That's
him.
right.
To, but that's one thing about your company is that when I was talking with Keith and I have people reach out to me and wanted a product or wanted this or that, I reached out to him and was like, hey, where do I send them? You know, I didn't think he wanted me to give everybody his phone number. And he was like, hey, man, just have them call me. I'll take care of them. Sure. And the next thing I knew, he was here in Texarkana delivering something to one of the local banks. And I was like, you know, man, I mean, they're you know, it's a
Taking care
big
of
company,
people.
but you still have that customer service.
Right.
And people can call and ask you questions and not just go somewhere and buy something and say, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go out and throw it out and see what happens. You got the information on the website and these catalogs, and then you guys are an essential tool that they can use as well. So
Any day I can wake up and talk about hunting, it's not a bad day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't mind the phone calls at all.
Yeah. Well, look, before we get to your side of it,
Yeah.
we're going to start talking some of the feed. We want to hit on something that we do every week. We've got some kids that send in some photos. We're
Yeah.
gonna look at one of them right now before we go to commercial break, and then we'll look at the other ones here in a little bit. But I know Garrett's got a special one that
I
we
do.
want to bring up and we want to hit on. And Garrett, who is that picture of?
So we got Caden Jackson. Caden was on his final youth hunt, 15 years old. This is his final youth hunt. He was so fired up with for this hunt that he fell asleep.
Yeah. And so, I mean, every week we ask people to send in these pictures of their nice kills or out in the field. And most people send, you know, they kill a nice buck or something like that. And I don't know who sent this one in, but Caden, this is the picture we got of him. So congratulations, Caden.
Yeah, fired up. Show him the picture. Now show him what he woke up.
We've all been there.
He woke up and look, he killed one.
Yeah.
There he is, 7 points.
That's what I'm
So
talking about.
we wanted to give Caden a hard time because we did get that picture sent in of him in there sleeping. We've all been there. He was wore out.
We've
out there
all
on
been
that
there, that's
youth hunt.
right.
Yeah, but killed him a nice little buck there over in Hempstead County. So congratulations to him. And so we do have a couple more pictures this week that we will show when we come back. But we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, Jason's going to talk some of the feed side. And while we're at break, grab you a drink, grab you some popcorn, get on your phone and go over to strattonseed.com and look at all this stuff while we're talking about it. We'll be back after these commercials from some of our sponsors.
Well, we set out to create a rack because most racks are a little bit monolithic, a little bit lightweight, not really something that you can use all 4 seasons. We use it to duck hunt, deer hunt, worker food plots, go trail riding, take the family out. We really need a configurable, adaptable system that we can buy one product, configure it how we need it, and use it year round.
Welcome back to The Blind. And we failed to mention at the beginning of the show, but our set this week is a little bit different.
It's been different every week.
It,
so
it
far.
has been different,
So
but we
far.
have finally settled home. And for everybody that didn't know, this is our Lyle Real Estate studio that we are in tonight. And so we appreciate Lyle Real Estate for being such a great sponsor with us. We'll have them on and we'll talk some things with them later on in the season. But Lyle Real Estate coming in and being our studio sponsor for our season 1 here. And so we appreciate them. But
keeping us comfortable.
we won't. It's pretty comfortable stuff here, so we appreciate them. But let's talk some feed now, and I know that's kind of stuff you want to talk about. I'm excited about it as well. I like talking planting. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But when you talk about killing big bucks, everybody wants to feed them and know what brings them in. So I'm gonna let you take it away, and you just go where you want to go with it.
I mean, I've been selling for 25 years, several different products, and this is by far my easiest thing I've ever sold in my life. Like I said, me and Keith was at the Big Buck, and people were coming up to us talking about, do y'all sell deer protein, et cetera, and was like, no. So we went back to Heath North, our boss, and we kind of tossed around some ideas, and Rack-A-Track was invented back in 2019. So it's basically got 16% protein on the tag. It's really about 17%, 6.5% fat for you guys that try to raise big bucks, feed year round. That's super important. I got several high fences. I got one close to you guys right here. Feeds it year round. But once they get hooked on Rack-A-Track, they're done. I mean, that's pretty much all they ever feed anymore. Like I said, it's a year-round supplement. my guys who is wanting to really manage their land and raise the big deer, they'll put it in troughs, spin feeders, the gravity feeders, throw it on the ground, whatever they want to do. But January to August, they hit it really hard. Some of them slack off and start feeding straight corn. But what they found out now is they really just stick with the Racket Track year round. So
Yeah.
it's got you can put a bag in your truck, shut the door, and when you get back in it, it's going to knock you out with the aroma.
Oh.
So it
Smells
it's,
good.
Well, I've got a story on that. Okay, so Keith brought me some down, and I can't remember how many bags of it was. 25 or 30 bags or something. But so he and I loaded it in the back of my truck while my dad watched. If he's watching this, we appreciate all your help. But he stood there and watched while we loaded it into my truck, and then I took it home and I put it in my shop. Mm-hmm. And then I went out and slung the door open later that night, and I was like, wow, what's going on in here? I mean, I didn't know what it was. And I figured out that's what it was.
It's
that
a
Racket
great
Track.
air
Racket
freshener.
And it wasn't a bad smell. It was a soybean kind of smell. You
roasted
just,
peanuts, like peanut butter. It almost
Yeah.
smells like a roasted peanut buttery smell. But, a couple of weeks ago, I was on our farm in Lake Village, and I put a little out when I walked to the stand, and then I had the empty bag, and I sat it up under my deer stand.
Yeah.
And I sent Keith and the guys the video. The deer walked right by the feed and was smelling and come right to my deer stand, and I've got it on video, and was sniffing out of the bag.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this stuff is nuts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just nothing but good things to say. I mean, we're at a great price point out in the market. It's around $15, $16 for a 50-pound bag, and I sell that in the 2,000-pound jumbos as well to my
Yeah.
high fence guys. So we've had a lot of success like of Racket Track. So we've kind of branded some more items. We've got the Racket Track Max. It comes in a little 15-pound pail. It's got calcium and phosphorus, so you really use that January to August because deer needs calcium and phosphorus to grow bigger and larger and healthier horn growth for what that is. And then we've had a lot of customers ask us for some rice bran and different products. So rice bran's hard to get a hold to most of the time. So we've come up with a product called Crush Racket Track. It comes in a 40-pound bag. It's got Racket Track in it, of course, with several different other items. It's a coarser, mealy type feed, but we can't make it fast enough.
Yeah.
I mean, every week we sell out. We got a waiting list for it every week. We're doing some things on the future. Well, maybe we can come back over and we'll talk about it next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
On what we're doing with that. So we're kind of coming out with some more feeds with that, and then the last two feeds I got is basically just everybody's got one. But if you notice that every one of our bags are trademarked now, trademark clear bags. So you can see the product in there. You can see it clear. You know what you're getting. A lot of that, you guys put it in the spin cast feeders, and nobody wants to go back to their feeder.
Dirty
and it's hung
corn.
up.
Yep.
Dirty corn.
Yep.
So our corn is always clean and you can see it in the bag. So this is the same thing as Racket Track. You can put that bag in your truck with that apple or persimmon flavor, and it'll knock you out when you get back in there. So
Well, even the Racket Track, you think of it being corn and it's got the roasted soybeans in it and
Yes.
stuff like that. And I run that through my
Spin,
feeder, my
yep.
spinning feeder. And then I put it in my food trough as well, just because I accidentally just dumped a little bit of a bag in there one day and they just loved it. So I started putting it in there as
Yep.
well. And I'll even mix it with my rice bran and stuff to
Yep.
help them.
Sure.
They'll kind of get off of that a little bit here and there, and so I'll mix it in there a little bit to help with that too. But like you said, you can smell it, so the deer have got to smell it. If we can smell it, they sure can. But it puts off such an aroma, and the protein and everything. I mean, it's just an awesome product.
Yep. The other day, just another quick story on Racket Track. I mean, I just can't talk about it enough. South wind was blowing. Me and my wife, we dumped some feed out. It was like 12:30. By the time I got in my truck, hit the highway, was heading back. I mean, and I haven't seen a deer in daytime in like 2 weeks at this place. 3 does was sitting there. Wind was
found it.
blowing directly to it, just sitting there hammering. And I was like, "You have got to be kidding me!" My camera went off, and I thought it was a squirrel or a coon or something like that. It was 3 does eating. I was like, "That's awesome, right
Yeah,
there."
yeah.
So I mean,
Well, it's
Fast
good
action.
products.
Right,
and-
you can put it down and then you get on your stand and kill a deer.
That's right.
seriously, man, I'm telling you, it's nuts. I mean,
But
it's-
it like you talked about the price point. When you think about feeding more protein, and you talk about roasted soybeans, and you talk about apple or persimmon flavored stuff, it's not priced out of.
No.
I mean it's very well priced
Yes.
stuff.
So when me and Keith basically were the first two to start selling Racket Track in Arkansas. in surrounding areas, really. So you can remember, we would sell 10 bags,
Yeah.
5 bags, and we were running around everywhere in our trucks.
Just trying to get
Now,
it out there.
I think me and Keith together probably have 120 customers, and there's no more 10 bags. They're
Yeah.
ordering 3, 4 pallets at a time, and
Yeah.
Truckloads.
And every retailer's like, man, people are coming in and buy this stuff by the pallet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just works.
We'll just order more.
It just works, man.
Keep ordering it.
Yeah, it
works.
speaks for itself. It's been a good product for us. For sure.
For sure. And then on the back of the catalog, you can kind of show them or talk to them. But that's basically our territory. You know, we will ship all over the U.S. We have people in Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, New York that are buying this stuff, and we ship all over the country. But that is what the map is on the back, or you'll see it on the website. That is where we got actual salesmen on the ground calling on retailers, open up accounts, and assisting the customers. So customer service is what Keith and I are good at, and all the reps are good out here at Stratton Seed. But we're here to field all your questions on feed or seed, and I think that's what sets us apart, because we're available.
Yeah, and that's got all their contact info on their emails, phone numbers. So if you're not in this area, you need somebody else, you can call them and hit them up anytime.
Or if
Yeah.
they're not a big one, to get on the website and look it up, find one of these at the
Yep.
local
That's right.
co-op
And
you got
we'll
your phone
do our
numbers there
best to
for
get a
'em.
picture of
We're
this,
steady
whether
passing
it's
them
from
out.
y'all or what, and put this out,
Yeah.
you know, on our social media pages where people can see y'all's number and call you. But that, again, that's what I was really impressed with from the beginning, was just the customer service from all of it, that you could pick up the phone, call somebody, ask questions about it. You know, if you wanted to find somewhere local, or maybe they didn't have it, or, you know, whatever the deal might be, you could still reach out and get the customer service. And that still means something today
Yeah.
to everybody, especially in the hunting industry. When you've got questions you want to ask about it, you know, you could pick up the phone and call somebody and get it,
Yep.
instead of just being sent to a website, and you can read the same general information that everybody can, that's on the back of a bag, you know,
Yep.
somewhere. But I do like the idea that y'all went to with the clear bags where you can
Yeah.
see through
Yeah.
them. I take my rack attract out there. It just feels like more,
Yeah.
you know, because you can see it in there. And I mean,
You
I
know
love
the bag's
cutting-
full.
yeah.
It's not like a bag
That's
of
right.
chips.
That's right.
yes.
That's right. Or
Yeah.
or you know it's not dirty. It doesn't have cobs in there and different, you know, sticks and stobs and stuff like that. So you know when you put it in your feeder that it's good stuff. And so, but well, man, we appreciate you guys coming by again. If you are local around here, I'd be more than happy to hand you this one that's in my hand that we've got. We'd love to show them to you. We take pictures and send to you, or you could go to the website. Any of the products that we've seen, especially the Rack Attract that I'm using personally right now, the deer are loving it. I had to take my watch off before we came because it just buzzes the whole time with the deer eating the Rack Attract at my trough and my feeders and stuff. And so we'll tell you all that we know about it, and what we don't know about it, we'll send you to one of these guys. They'll be more than happy to talk with you about it. But go over to strattonseed.com. You can see all the stuff that we've talked about tonight. And if you have any questions, get with one of these guys. And so, guys, we sure do appreciate y'all
Yeah,
for
appreciate
making
Yeah,
the
thank
trip
y'all for
down.
coming.
Very much.
Telling
Enjoy it.
everybody about all of these products, and even if it's, you know, it's too late right now, hunters are always worried about next year. What are we going
That's
to do
right.
next year? So,
Always planning.
you know, keep Stratton Seed in mind. Again, that just great guys. I know Keith's always down here around here, and Jason's been with him. You know, when I've talked to him before, but we really appreciate you guys remembering us down here in Texarkana and taking care of not just us here, but our region as well. And so, make sure you go over to their website, check out their feed and their seed for ducks, deer, turkey, doves, upland birds. What else am I missing? I'm sure y'all got stuff to
Squirrels.
feed moose and squirrels. You know, whatever you want, they've got something for you. So go over and check it out. And if you really want to, look in the back of this book and give one of these guys a call with all of your questions. And so, guys, we look forward to having you back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it.
We'll go out and you know, next time get some footage and things like that of, if I can get my food plots planted earlier this
Right.
next year, we'll have some flush green ones. But man, the drought just killed
Yeah.
me. I didn't get it down quick
Yeah.
enough, you know, to for it to take. But I really impressed with what you guys do.
Thank
really
you.
impressed. And so we appreciate these guys for being here from Stratton Seed tonight. We're going to take a short break. We're going to let these guys get on the road back home. They got a long ways to go back home, and so that's one reason why we appreciate them so much. They want to get all of the info out to you, and that's why they're here. So they took the time to come all the way down here, and so we'll let these guys get on the way home, and then we're going to come back with one of our local guys, Lane Peoples, with Baits and Blades when we come back from this commercial break.
Okay, alright.
We're back on the blind in the Lyle Real Estate Studio. We've got a new guest, Lane Peoples from Baits and Blades, and we're going to talk a little bit about some hunting. We're going to talk a little bit about fishing too, something we hadn't touched on this season yet. Lane, it's good to have you here.
Nice for y'all to invite me over, man. I'm glad I could be here.
We appreciate you. You know, Lane, we met, I don't know what, a couple years. I guess I've been in Texarkana for 3 years now. We've known each other and been around some different things with the fishing tour that we did, you know, that was put on here last year. I know they're coming back. We'll hit on that a little
They'll
bit.
be here in April.
But, you know, you've got a pretty unique place. We were talking about it with the Stratton Seed guys just a few minutes ago, but let's just start off and let you tell everybody who you are and kind of what you do.
All right. Well, I'm the boring one, Lane Peoples. Own Baits and Blades Tackle Store in Texarkana, 3302 Richmond Road, just about a mile north of Interstate on Richmond. Sell bass and crappie fishing stuff. Also have a little bit of duck stuff in there. Have several different brands of pocket knives for guys to carry. My biggest deal is fishing though. So
You don't just do that though. You have a full-time job.
that is my full-time job.
Well, you have another job.
Yeah. My other job, my other part-time job, I guess. I'm a firefighter in Texarkana on the Texas side. Station 3 out on Richmond Road. So every third day, I'm riding that truck, and then when I'm not there, if it's during the week, I'm at the store.
You said you're the boring one. Well, we feel like we're the boring ones, and that's why we bring people that are interesting on the show.
You.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes.
No, man, you're interesting because we were talking about it off air a little while ago, but it's not just any.
Right, he's really
sporting
selling
goods
himself
store
short.
I mean, it's in a pharmacy that family owned.
Yep.
I mean,
They've owned
just
it for
kind of
40
tell a little
years.
bit about that.
Okay, so it's inside Pleasant Grove Pharmacy.
Yeah.
My parents bought the store about 40 years ago. This next April, I will have been selling fishing tackle in there for 15 years. So, you know, just keep trying to grow it and build it and see what we can turn it into.
So in college, I worked at a pharmacy. We sold little trinkets and Christmas ornaments and different stuff like that. So your concept of having a fishing hunting store, that's really cool. Like I said, you're kind of selling yourself short because I was in there the other day and I was looking, and you have a really fantastic selection, especially of the fishing stuff.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I try to carry the stuff that works around here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the name brands that you can't get at big box stores.
Right.
You know, other than me, we've got Academy here in town, but it's just big box names and colors.
Right.
And so give the guys around here in this area something different to give them the edge.
Yeah. And when we talk about that, you've got baits and you've got tackle and you've got all this stuff for fishing. We don't just mean a little bit.
Oh no,
You've got
it's
a
crazy.
lot of
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm not a fisherman, so I can't get into
We've
what
gotta
this
get him
and
into
that
that.
We
is.
do.
It's not-
We got to get him in the
last
spring.
time I went fishing, he almost killed me. So
Really?
yeah. Or you
Oh,
remember when we got
never
stuck in
mind.
that tornado? But that's
Yeah.
for another day.
Hey,
That's
they were
right.
biting though, so you got to stay
No,
out
we
there.
didn't
We
catch
tried.
anything.
We tried to stay.
But no, I like to eat my fish over at Doc's in Garland.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
where I
yeah.
like to catch my fish.
Yeah.
I
Well, you can do like
I
me.
pay $20 and I'm
You
done.
can go fishing all day long, catch and release, stop by the fish place on the way home,
Yeah.
eat your fish. Good
Yeah.
day.
I'm just not my thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll get you there. We'll get you there. Give us time.
We were talking about too about how you have a lot of products, and especially in the fishing side of things, that you really can't find everywhere.
Right, yeah.
And for a fisherman, I don't fish as much as I used to. I used to fish a lot in college and all. But
Before you
looking
got
at
married.
before I got married and had kids.
No doubt.
Yeah, but when I was looking at everything, for a fisherman, I know I'd go pond hopping with my dad still, and he's like, "Why you got 7 packages of the same thing?" I'm like, "Well, if that's all they're biting that day, I got to have
You
all
don't
of
want
it."
to run out.
Right, right.
Yeah, and that's kind of our deal is, man, I've got like Mega Bass and different brands from Japan. Just different
the Gary
stuff. like-
Yamamoto.
yeah, Gary Yamamoto. I've got, the
Reaction.
brands that real fishermen want
Right.
to throw. The,
Well, and-
the stuff that, they're interested in. That's
Yeah.
what I try to get in.
Well, and I told you, the story about me being in another town, and we brought up this show, and it was back before it was even a thing. It was just a concept that I was putting together, and I told the guy, I said, yeah, I talked with Lane Peoples over at Baits and Blades, and he said, I know that guy. And I said, really? How do you know him? I mean, I was in a different town, and he was like, man, that is the only place that I can find this certain bait that I had no clue. But I mean, he went on for an hour about that's the only place in 100 miles that you can get this and get that. And man, I had a buddy that called me in so-and-so state, and he was like, man, you can find that thing. And he was like, yeah, it's in Texarkana in a pharmacy. And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but that's the kind of stuff you carry.
Yes,
The
yeah.
things that these fishermen that do these, and correct me if I'm wrong, tours or trails or whatever these things are that, the professional fishermen do.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's a lot of those guys that come to your store because you have stuff they can't find anywhere else.
Yeah, and that's the deal, man. There's a lot of tournaments in this area. Fishing in the Arklatex is huge. I mean, within 3 hours of here, we have, I can't tell you how many excellent fishermen.
Yeah.
I mean, pros, guys that make just as much money as pros, staying at the house fishing local. I mean, we have the cream of the crop, the
Yeah.
best of the best around here. So I try to
You try to
offer-
carry the cream of the crop baits
I
for
try
them.
to offer the
Right.
best of the best for them.
Yeah.
What's the fishing tour that came through here last year?
National Professional Fishing League.
And they're coming back
They're
this
coming
year,
back
right?
in April.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep.
Well, we may have to do a show over there.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the blind.
Yeah, yeah,
and then
man.
you will have to be the center. You and Garrett, I'll just be there for the.
Hey, he'll be our wingman.
He'll be- that's
Yeah,
right.
we can
That's
make
right.
this work.
I'll just
Yeah.
interview people
Yeah,
when they come
yeah.
over. Y'all will be able to give your
We can
analysis.
handle
we
that.
can do the
They're doing.
fish talk.
That's
That's
right.
right.
There you
That's
go.
right. Yeah.
Instead
that's
of the
what
blind talk, we'll have the fish talk.
Be looking for that coming this spring. Yeah. So
Yes.
speaking of the blind and spring and fishing and stuff, I don't know if everybody knows or not what our plans are, but we'll have shows in the fall for more of deer and duck, and we'll hit a little on fishing right now because people are fishing.
Oh, it's a
right
great
now.
time of year to fish.
But
Great time
we're
of
going to
year.
come back in the spring and have more episodes that you'll probably see more of Lane on if he'll grace us with his presence. But we'll have people on here like you that can talk baits and fishing and things like that, and then I'm just going to have to sit and watch because I'm not going to know anything.
It'll
about
be a learning experience.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
I'm just going to
Maybe we can get him on the water
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
That's
maybe.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
but yeah, guys, that's the deal. This time of year, a ton of people are hunting, but it's also one of the best times of year for fishing.
Well, when
Man,
we're
they're
out duck
biting.
hunting over
There's
at Millwood,
always people on that river.
there's
fishing.
people out there
Yeah.
fishing. And so for people like me, maybe somebody's watching or they see the show and they're like me and they're not a big fisherman. What are people fishing for right now? What are they doing?
Bass and crappie.
Because if I was a fish, I wouldn't bite anything right now.
Well,
It's
you would
cold.
have done good today because we spent 6 hours out there and we caught them, but not.
It was tough.
It was cold.
Yeah.
So crappie in the fall, crappie fishing is huge. It blows up. I mean, everybody's crappie fishing, but the bass fishing has been really good too.
So how far into the fall? Like now it's cold outside now. I mean,
Oh,
are
yeah,
fish
go.
still
People
are they
fish
still
all
biting?
year.
Oh yes,
Or just
yes.
in the cooler?
No.
So is there a certain temperature? I'm asking because I don't
Now,
know. Is there a
I'll tell
certain
you-
temperature of water gets to where fish stop biting?
They slow down.
They slow way down when
Okay.
it gets real
So when
cold.
it gets real cold.
But the crappie guys, man, they'll still
They
pull
still
out
do it.
slabs.
We see them.
But
Yeah.
some people catch their biggest bass of the year in the
That's
fall, right?
Well, yes, and in early, like in the winter, early spring.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the deal with fishing. Even the guys that aren't, die-hard guys,
Yeah.
as soon as New Year's hits, you need to be on the water.
Right.
I mean, it's
time to go.
it's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. But yeah, right now is a great time. There were people out at the lake today catching them.
Well, and not just fish, but talking about your store. Arkansas duck season opens up this next weekend.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
got waterfowl stuff.
Oh yes. Yep.
I
yep.
actually came over and bought a gun case.
Yep.
That I'm actually selling to him because
Oh,
I got.
good. That
I
means
got
you need another gun
no,
case.
No, well, no, I was actually given one with a gun.
Ah.
So I had to buy the gun, and then they
that's
hey,
nice.
threw in
the
the
gun
case.
Yeah, that was
you know,
nice
yeah,
of 'em.
yeah. You buy this real expensive gun, we'll give you this
Yeah.
case. It's a nice case, but I just told him he was wanting a new one. And I said, well, I wasn't expecting to get this other one.
Well, I
You
was in
wanna
your
buy this
store
one?
looking at them, and he's like, Brian calls, and I'm like, he's like, what are you doing? Well, I'm at Lane's. I'm looking at these gun cases. Well, I got one. I'm gonna give you, or I'll sell to you that I just bought from him.
Yeah.
I didn't try to cut you out of a sale. But
No,
That's
no,
all right.
no. You're good, man. You're good.
But no, I mean you've got waterfowl stuff. So people
Oh,
that
yeah,
are watching
yeah.
with the waterfowl season coming up, not only right now to get stuff before season, but during season, if you need stuff, I mean you've got. I mean you don't sell guns or ammunition. Do you have any duck calls? I couldn't remember. If
Yes,
I saw
I
any
do
over
have
there.
some
You
duck
do have
calls
some
up
duck
there.
calls over
Yep.
there. You got sunglasses too.
Yep. Video sunglasses.
Yep. And so I have. And are those a fishing brand?
They are a
it more of
fishing
a-
brand, but man, I wear them all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, they're
Well, it's
they're
kinda
really
like,
high quality. high
Costas
quality. Yeah.
and other stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you wear them all the time now. People do. So you got, and you got the knives.
Yes. Yes.
Talk a little bit about the knives.
Man, I carry several different brands of knives. Benchmade, Zero Tolerance. I've got Case in there. Some Spyderco. Pretty much pocket knives. I've got some fixed blade knives, but
Switchblades.
I've got some switchblades. Yeah.
What
I've
you need
got-
a switchblade for?
I don't know. I just thought
You
I'd
just
ask.
think
That's
it
all.
sounds
He's
cool.
wanting to cut some.
That was the
I
only
know,
other
right?
blade I
Yeah.
knew. You know.
Yeah,
and,
But
got
yeah,
any
I do
Bowie
have
knives
some of
over
those.
there?
Yeah.
Butter knives.
He's gonna
But
be
yeah,
looking
I've
for them
got several
snakes.
several
Yeah.
different brands, and try to do the knives like I do the fishing, carry the quality stuff.
yeah.
You know.
But you know it, and I keep going back to it. But you know the waterfowl stuff with it coming up here
This weekend.
this coming weekend. I mean, you've got nice heavy jackets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pullovers,
Yep.
thermals, a couple of dog vests.
Yep.
I mean,
Decoy
there's a different,
rigs.
Yeah.
right?
Boots, Drake boots. You know, if somebody
Yep.
if somebody has a pair of tore up boots, we got new Drake.
what else? I
hunting
mean,
boots.
but you've got gloves and bags and
Bags,
bags.
yeah.
That was one of the things you and I were talking.
Yeah.
I already had one of them that you've got over there, but you got bags. I mean, big ones, small ones. I mean, little stuff that. I mean, and I'm not trying to talk down about any brand or company or anything, but things that Academy don't have.
Right.
you
Oh
know?
yeah, yeah.
They don't
yeah.
have
Right.
the quality of the stuff that you've got. They may have some bags, but you've got some nice bags.
Yeah. Man, and that's kind of what I've cut my teeth on.
Yeah.
Just whatever I carry, try to carry the best in
Yeah,
it.
and you've got some waders over there too,
Yeah,
right?
got waders,
What
yep.
do you have? Drake and
Banded.
Drake and Banded.
Yep.
So go over there. They've got waders, boots, camo. I mean, you got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
So go
Come
over
check
there
it
and-
out.
Yeah, go check it out.
Save you a trip somewhere. Or
Yeah.
May save you a weekend of hunting.
Yeah. But that kind of stuff is.
It's a
needed.
neat store.
Yeah, it is.
It's neat. If you hadn't checked it out, you need to go by.
And if anybody is having bad luck on hunting, go try that fall fishing. I mean, it's really good right now.
Yeah.
Really, really good right now.
Man, I just don't know.
I think we talk about that every year, like, maybe we need to take our fishing stuff with us just in case the hunting's no good.
Well, I can't take my fishing stuff with
You don't have
me
any.
because he won't let me take my Zepco. He's embarrassed of it. He says, "Oh, if we're going
said
fishing,
you got to
you're not-
learn to throw an open
You're
face,
not carrying
man.
that Zepco. Well, I can catch
He makes
a
you
bass
take
on a
your own
Zepco.
truck whenever you carry that Zebco around.
No, he won't even let me carry the pole. He won't even let me get in his boat.
I can fix you up tomorrow. Just come see me.
I mean,
He'll get you set up with a good one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but I still can't throw it, so it does me no good.
Man, we can get you one of those digital Shimano reels.
You just push
Anybody
button.
can cast it.
Push
You're
button.
good to go.
But you got rod and reels in there too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
rod
not
and
just
reels,
not just bait.
Fishing line, hooks,
So
you name
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna re-trademark your name.
it.
To call it rods and reels, baits and blades, decoys and waders. We're just gonna name it all.
You're going to have to take a deep breath when you do that. But, man, we'll make it work.
It probably costs extra money to
Yeah.
do that.
No, that'd be all right.
But yeah, man. Hey, if you are in outdoors, even, I mean, just because you got duck hunting stuff, I mean, deer hunting, you got camo, so you
yeah,
can wear it
yeah,
for
yeah.
everything. But again, bags and gloves and neck gaiters and just knick-knack
neat.
stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So go by and check him out if you're getting ready for the upcoming duck season, or you're in the middle of deer season right now and you just need a new pair of gloves or this or that. And then if you want to try some of that cold weather fishing,
Hey, you might
go
as well.
over there. He'll tell
Yeah.
you all
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. I'm not going to join you, but it's
Man,
it's
it's
a big
big.
deal.
It's a
big.
huge deal.
There's a
Huge
lot of
deal.
people that do it. I
Yeah.
see when we're out duck hunting. There's a lot of people out
Huge
doing it.
deal.
And I just can't.
And they bite, whether you're bass fishing, crappie fishing. Man, they bite this time of year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good stuff.
Well, man, before we get off here, we're going to take a short break here in just a second. But before we do, we've got a couple more pictures for some kids that were sent in this week. Cam, if you'll throw that first one up there for us.
Let's
and we're
take a
gonna-
look at these.
Yeah, so we got
Hey.
Connor Hamlin. He's age 9. That was sent in by his aunt. He killed him a deer on youth weekend. So we appreciate that being sent in from his aunt. And so we got Connor there. Nice little buck there.
Yeah,
Not sure
bad.
exactly how big it is, but
Look at that
it's
grin
bigger
on
than
his
the one that
face.
I've killed.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's what's important,
That's
right?
right.
That grin on the
his
kid's
face
face.
makes
We
it
love
worth-
we love getting those pictures of those kids and what we got next, Cam? Sydney Chisholm. So this is a bigger buck.
That is a nice one.
That is a real nice
and
buck
she killed it with a pink gun.
with a pink gun over in Columbia
like
County,
a
age
boss.
10. Yep.
Right.
And that one was actually on the Big Buck Classic page, and so she
Nice.
has got that one. She needs to take that thing up there. She may win Columbia County with it. But that's a nice buck.
That is a
Age
nice
10.
one.
Wouldn't you like to be 10 and kill one of those?
I'd like to be now and kill one of those.
Yeah, 40 wouldn't be too bad. to
Right,
get one of those.
right.
That is exactly right. But look, we're going to take a short break, and before we're done with the show, we're going to have Lane come back. We're going to talk a little duck hunting with him. Duck season's coming up here in Arkansas this coming weekend on
Yeah, we're
Saturday.
fired
So
up.
we've only got three or 4 days left. So before we let Lane out of here, we're going to talk some duck hunting. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back, and we'll finish up with the final flight right here on The Blind. Welcome back to The Blind. Garrett Camp, Brian Bolt, and our special guest with us, Lane Peoples from Baits and Blades.
The Lane people.
The Lane Peoples.
The Lane
the,
Peoples.
the
Put
bait
me-
machine.
Yeah, put me on the spot here, guys.
There you go.
Hey, look at old Bolt over here. He's checking his deer camera.
Is that
Yeah,
what he's doing?
yeah, well,
he's
hey,
trying to
hey,
see
you know,
how
I
much
got to make
racket
sure-
track he's going to have to
I
buy.
got sure. Yeah, I'll just make sure. Ooh, hey, got a little
looky
small
there.
buck out there.
Oh, yeah.
A little
Yeah.
small buck. Yeah, he'll be there tonight. He won't be there tomorrow.
That's right.
But, well, look, this is the final flight. It's the final segment that we do every week on the show, and
They
Lane, we
have
just
a
wanna-
they had a blend that was called the Final Flight.
They did.
They did.
They did.
They did. I don't know. I guess we kind of. I don't think we tried to steal that.
We didn't. I don't think it was trademarked yet.
Okay.
Well, that's a
okay. We're
fee.
good. Maybe
So-
we're good.
But yeah,
I didn't hear anything. We're all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. And so we appreciate Lane for being here with us and making sure that everyone knows about his store here in Texarkana. But before we let you go, man, we want to talk some duck hunting with you. It's
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
up in
yeah.
Arkansas
Yeah.
here this weekend. and
Saturday
so
morning.
You hunt in Arkansas as well, right?
Yep.
So where exactly do you hunt? You don't have to
I've
tell
been-
us exactly if you don't want everybody to know.
The Garland area.
Yeah.
Garland
yeah.
area.
So Garland City.
I'm actually going with one of my buddies Saturday morning.
Okay.
Out to his place.
Okay.
So a little change of scenery.
Go
but
public or go private.
Yeah,
Go private.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, guys like you that make all that money. I mean, y'all hunt.
Yeah, hunt
private.
private.
No,
You know,
if I had your
Garrett
money, I'd
and I-
burn mine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Garrett and I hunt Millwood
That's right.
all the time.
Yeah.
Huh.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the
Most
time.
of
There's
the
nothing
time.
wrong with
We
some
hunt
millwood hunting.
No, we love millwood.
We do. We've been out there, what, going 12, 13 years now that we've been hunting out there.
Yeah.
And this weekend in particular, now we never can predict what ducks are going to do, but it seems like everything's kind of lining up for this to be one of the better opens we've had in a few years. The weather's looking good.
Yeah.
We've gotten some rainfall over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and so
Tell you
hopefully
what, I was out at Wright Patman today for 6 hours, and man, there were a bunch of birds flying.
Really?
At Patman, yeah.
Huh.
So I think we got some birds down.
Well, I mean, it's like
Weather's
Garrett
right.
said.
Yeah, yeah.
The weather is finally right. We've waited. I mean, it's been
Finally.
how many years since we've had
Right.
decent
Yeah.
weather, and we've had rain. So if anybody, speaking of that, if anybody from the Corps of Engineers is watching
Yeah,
up there at Millwood, we know
Just
that
let
you
the water
started
stay
letting-
where
you
it's at.
started
Yeah.
letting some water out today
Can
or
we
whenever
not
Garrett said they
open the
did. So
dam?
can you just at least slow it down a little
Just
bit?
slow
Can
it
we
down.
stay above normal pool for about another week?
one more week. Just give us another week.
Just
and
keep
we're
the
good.
water up. But Lane, I mean, what do you think about it coming up? I mean, the weather's getting right. we
Man,
got
I'm
a little
ready.
bit of rain.
I'm ready. You know, usually we're in t-shirts and
Yeah.
fighting off water
Right.
moccasins.
Yep, yep.
And, you know, our guy here doesn't like snakes, so I
He
bet
does
he's
not.
sure excited
Snakes
about
and alligators.
Yeah,
I'm not about
Those
it.
two things, he
Yeah.
ain't about it.
I'm not about it. Well, one of them can eat you,
right, yeah.
and then one of them it
Will
wasn't
kill
good-
you if he did.
Well,
if he,
one of them was not good in the Bible, so it's not. I mean, surely it's not good now. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not messing with either
No,
one of them.
no need to mess with either
No,
one of 'em.
No, but
So y'all will be out this weekend.
we will be out this weekend. We'll go up for our. We hunted Millwood a couple years before we started staying up there, but we've been up there for 10 or 12 years now. We go up and stay up there at the duck camp, and we'll stay up there. My dad and uncle and Garrett and I, and then we have a couple other friends that come up, and we have a big shindig for 2 or 3 days, and then we get tired and we come home, and then we'll
Yeah.
go back and do it again. But we enjoy hunting up there.
Hey man,
We
that's
really
part.
do.
That's the biggest part of it for me is hanging out with friends and family.
yeah, we look forward to that every year.
Yeah.
It's like getting together.
Yep.
But man, hopefully, we were supposed to be in Canada and come
Right.
back yesterday or today
Right.
But our trip got canceled last week because they got so much snow and all the ducks and geese moved out.
Well, that's
and
what
so
we
hopefully
say
they're
every
coming down
year.
here.
Every year we say, well, all the ducks are still up north,
Yeah,
right?
well, they're not.
We have firsthand knowledge that they are not in Canada.
They're not in Canada. They may
Right.
still be more
Yeah.
north than Arkansas, but they're not in Canada. We've got proof of that.
Yeah.
So, but
They're
Lane,
around here. They'll be ready.
I think there's a few birds, so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get at least a couple days of good hunting.
Yep.
But Lane, what's your favorite duck to kill?
Whew, man, I like a pintail.
Hard to beat a
That's a good
pintail.
choice.
I
That
like
is
a pintail.
Real good
beautiful.
choice. I get really really excited over mallards. I mean that's of course mallards king, and I understand all of that. But I mean mallards just turn me on.
There's
But-
something special though
but-
about a pintail.
But
'cause we
Garrett
just
will
don't
tell
kill
you,
as
yeah,
many.
Yeah,
Garrett,
yeah.
Garrett will tell you. I mean, when there's a pintail, I mean, we all just get a little
little
pep
more
in our
amped
step,
up.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah.
When there's a pintail, and
Yeah, when you're in those rice fields, man, you see them up there circling. You're like, oh, hey,
well, and you
here
know,
we go.
in those rice fields, you see them a little more. But out where we hunt, so when we say we hunt Millwood, we don't actually hunt Millwood. We hunt backwater off the river.
Yeah.
So, but we
You don't
hunt
see 'em.
we hunt way over on the cotton shed side,
That's right.
way over there. So
Way
anybody
over there.
watching, we hear there's a lot of ducks on the cotton shed side.
Yeah,
of,
yeah,
of
just
Millwood.
covered
So,
up.
Yep, covered up all through those flats and everything. So make sure you go over there
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah.
But you don't see many pintails in that backwater off of the lake and the river there.
So when
you
we
know.
do, we get excited.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you find one mixed in with a group of mallards or a group of gadwalls or something like that. But Garrett's favorite
Here we
duck
go.
to kill.
that old
Here
ring
we
neck,
go.
huh?
Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that here in a second. But he loves to shoot spoonies. He loves them. Loves them. He'll
This is a
breast them out
lie.
and eat them. But you know what he cooked us last year? Some whistlers.
Whistlers.
You ever killed a Mexican whistler?
There you go.
Have you ever killed one?
I don't think I
Let me
have.
tell you, they're hard to kill. They are hard to
They're
kill.
absolutely. they're the hardest duck to kill.
So I'll just tell you real quick. We're set up on an afternoon hunt, and we're sitting there. We hadn't seen anything, and we looked up, and there's a big group of whistlers coming. We didn't know what they were,
And they whistle.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Sound like a person
Like, what is
whistling.
this flying in? Everybody load up and get ready. So we all load up. We're ready, and they fly right in. We start shooting. There's 4 or 5 of us. We unload, and they're just falling out everywhere.
We thought we had killed.
At least half of them,
Yeah,
15.
We thought we had killed 15 or
Yeah.
more ducks. I mean, they were just falling out of the sky.
And then it's whistlers. We're high-fiving. We're excited. And then we start walking out to get them. And one by one, they start jumping up. They were dead on the water. They start jumping up and flying off.
Things have 9 lives like a
I
cat.
don't
Every
know
one
what
of
it
them.
is.
They all flew off. We
Well,
didn't kill
they're
anything.
Mexican whistlers, so I don't know. It's
Get a
some-
single one.
And then one year we did find some more and killed some more. We actually killed some of
We
those,
did.
but yeah, that's just another
Well, that's
story
side
nobody
bad
wants to-
when you go thinking, well, we got a limit.
But this
Well,
year,
no, we don't.
Well, so then we cooked some to see what it tasted like, and it was actually
it's
pretty
good.
good.
But this year we're shooting Apex. So that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, we're shooting. So Apex, we've got some of their regular steel shot,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we've got what they've come out with is a mixed blend.
Like a blend?
It's
Yeah.
it's a mixed blend, and so we're actually our mixed blend supposed to be here Thursday, right in time because they've had such a hard time, making them.
Oh, yeah.
We've had our steel shot for a while, but we got the mixed blend coming in on Thursday. So big shout out to Apex, one of our sponsors
Man,
of
they
the
make
show.
some great
Yeah,
stuff.
go over and make sure you check out their website. And so, but well, guys, look, we've kept Lane long enough. It's time for him to go to bed. I got a baby at home. I need to go home and see.
You and me both.
And we all need to be home getting our brownie points because
That's all
duck
right.
season's coming up
I
this
got to
weekend.
keep up
but-
with those brownie points this time of year.
Yep. But look, we appreciate all of our sponsors. Dirty Duck Coffee, the official coffee of the blind. Make sure you go over and check out all of their coffee blends. And we sure do appreciate all of our sponsors that you can see on our screen throughout each of our episodes. And so make sure you go out and check out our sponsors. It'll come up on the screen here in a minute who all of them are. And check those guys out with duck season coming up. You may need some products. They do have options for overnight delivery. So may look up at Shein or Apex or whoever it might be
Try
on
to
there.
get it
and
in before
Try to
season.
get it in before season. And so we appreciate all of them. And that's going to be it for episode 3. We appreciate Lane.
Yeah, hey, thank you guys.
Appreciate
I
you
appreciate
coming
it,
by.
man. I
We
it.
appreciate Keith and Jason for coming by from Stratton Seed. Go over and check out Baits and Blades over on, what's the address again?
3302 Richmond Road.
Okay, I knew it was on Richmond Road. I just didn't know the exact
Pleasant
address. But
Grove
go check
Pharmacy.
out
Yeah, inside
Yep.
Pleasant Grove Pharmacy.
inside Pleasant Grove Pharmacy. If Lane's not working at the fire department that day, he more than likely
I'll
he'll
be there.
in there.
Yeah,
So,
I'll be there.
But show up and tune in for episode 4. We have got Rod Haydale that's going to make a trip up from Louisiana to
That's
talk
awesome.
duck
Shreveport,
calls with
Shreveport,
us.
Bossier
Yeah, the
City.
Shreveport Bossier area. We got Rod Haydale coming up in 2 weeks on episode number 4, and then we got some more hunting and stuff coming up 5, 6, 7, and 8. We got 8 episodes on this season. Then we'll come back in the spring, and you'll see some more of Lane Peoples.
Get my ugly mug back
Get
on
some,
here for a little while.
get some fishing and some turkey hunting in.
Yes.
Now, that's something he has got me into. I'm still a little weary on the snakes, but the turkey hunting.
Yeah,
will.
the snakes has been my hang up
So,
on that turkey
yeah.
deal. So
It's
Yeah.
fun.
Garrett, you're going to have to get me
It's
in
fun.
on
I
that.
like going with Garrett because we kind of hang around a pasture.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just hang around the wood line. You know,
No,
and
he
try to kill
likes
'em in
me
a-
because I lead the way.
You kick
He
all the
hangs
snakes
behind
out
me.
of the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Man, look, we appreciate you. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. Make sure you share and like this episode. Go watch our other 2 episodes we got out so far and like and share those as well. The only way we get more people to watch is if you go and share our post all around social media. You can see our social medias right there on the bottom. You can catch our shows every 2 weeks on Facebook and on YouTube. Go over to our Instagram as well at @theblind_TV for all of our social media content. We're going to be putting more out because duck season is coming up this weekend. We're going to try to put stuff out for you as many times as we can.
Much as we can
we got some pretty cool stuff coming. So make sure you go to all 3 of those places, subscribe, like, and follow. And so for Brian Bolt, Garrett Kemp, Lane Peoples, and our man Cam on the 1s and 2s back there behind the scene, we'll see you on episode 4 in 2 weeks right here on Live from the Blind.